Guys, what's up? Welcome back to Firestorm. As I mentioned in the previous video, today we're going to be discussing methods of using CSS with HTML. CSS is cascading style sheets, which means it's different ways that we can style our website to make it look better. If you look at the current one, it's very plain, it's just black and white, but you can change the colors and add images and things like that to make it look much better. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, as I said, and HTML, which if you didn't know, stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is what we've been using all this time. That's all the code you see here. And there's our index.html. Remember index because that's the home page. Always remember that if you have multiple pages. So let's continue. Now, there's three main ways for us to use CSS, which is a whole different programming language, and we're going to go through them step by step. And here, as you can see in the website itself, I just put this. These are the three ways themselves, and you can just read this, please. Okay, carrying on. Inline styling, that's the first one. Inline styling, so what does that mean? Remember we said we have all of these tags: head, body, header 2, paragraph, all of that. You can style each one individually by adding style attributes. An attribute is just a part that you add to the opening tag, and it gets affected to that entire set of tags. So now we have these body tags. As you can see, both are highlighted because it's a pair. You can add a style attribute, so you just type style and enter, and you'll have inverted commas, sorry, quotation marks. That's not inverted commas, that's quotation marks. You'll have a pair of those. If you're on Visual Studio Code, or just add it yourself. And now you see, if you've used this before, maybe this won't come up, but these are the most widely used ones. The one we're just going to use as an example is just background color, but don't learn this off because we'll cover this in one of the future videos, but that's some time from now. So let's just start off with very basic. Let's change the background color to blue. So we save that, and as you can see, every statement in CSS ends with a semicolon. And if you wanted to add another, this is just for example purposes again, we can change the color of the font within this. So we type color, and there's another semicolon that popped up. We'll change the color of the font to maybe red. Just over exaggerate to show you what's happening. And refresh this, and you can see the background changed to blue and our font is now red. Let's just take this out. This was just the first method, inline styling. So take a look at it before I delete it, and there. Okay, so that's done. That's the first way we can style our websites. Second way is style tags. Now look at these tags. These are tags. If you didn't know, they're called tags. It's a pair of tags. Most of them are, unlike the meta tags, which is individual ones. So now with style tags, you're gonna want to add these in your head tags. Look at the top here, we have our head, and this is where we add our title and meta tags and all of that. We're going to add style tags. Just type style and enter, and there we go, style tags. From here you can individually customize all of these different components. So starting off, we'll do the exact same thing, body, and then we add a curly bracket, very important, a set of curly brackets, open and closed, and we just type the same thing, background color and blue again. Don't forget the semicolon, and it was already like that, so we won't notice the difference, but anyway, there you can see that the change happened because the font went back to original. Okay, so if you want to change the font again, you can just do the same thing here. It's just different methods. It all depends on what you prefer using. It's all these three different methods, and you use the one you like. Okay, that's a mistake. It's supposed to be red, sorry, not blue. Here. So it's the exact same way that it was before, just using a different technique. So this is the second technique, style tags, which is technique 2, and deleting it. Okay, and notice, as I discussed in the previous video, all of these spacings, all these lines that are left, those are not for no reason. See, it has no effect on the site itself. It's not doing anything, but it's just to make it look neater. I mean, look at this, your code, it just looks more organized when you have these lines in between different parts. So anyway, let's carry on. There, it's back to the original. We're going to get it to that using a third method, and this is one of the main ones you should use because it's totally isolating your styling. So it's called external CSS style sheets. So you may be wondering what that is, and let's do it. So you have your folder open in your text editor, you add a new file and you call it anything.css. so we're just going to call it style.css. that's the universal one, and as you can see that changed to a hash sign which indicates that it's CSS. As you can see, this is not CSS, this is actually C#, another language. This is CSS. You hit enter and you can see this file is created. So now you have separate files for styling and one for the structure or HTML. This is very useful. So if you go back to our folder, you can see that this was created, a style document. It's called style and it's type CSS, cascading style sheet. So going back to the code, there's actually two ways that you can style these. So the first one is just like we did in tags, but just it's going to be in this document. So we say background color and blue. There, save it. If we go back here, you'll see that there's a problem. Nothing happens. Now there's one main thing that you have to do when you're using an external style sheet is link it. So you go up to the head tag, and very important, when you're using those style tags, remember those, you need to have it in the head tag. So anyway, moving on, in the head tag as well, if you're using an external style sheet, you type link, hit enter, and you see that it creates this for you. If it doesn't, just type all of this out physically, but if you use VS Code, obviously it will do it for you. Very helpful. And rel, which means this is what the type of link it is. So usually you would use like a background link or something like that, but this is a style sheet. So href means our hyperreference. It's the file itself that we're referencing to. This is style.css. See, as you're typing it, it comes up. Tap on that and you save it, and let's refresh. Now you can see it gets implemented. This line is essential if you're using external style sheets. Now there is another way. For example, if you don't want this to be affected only by the body, so maybe let's have something else. You can just call it maybe background color, just background color itself. Background color. Okay, and we are creating something called a class. So with a class, you call it whatever you want, and you add a full stop before it, so a period if you want to call it that. You add that, and this becomes a class. Now refresh and you'll see it will come back to normal, because this is a class, and if you know what classes are, you know that you can call them anywhere. So you go into the body opening tag and you type class, and within that you call the class by its name, background color. Don't type the full stop. Background color. So background hyphen color. Okay, refresh now and you can see it gets back to that. And if we wanted to have another one, maybe just for this paragraph here, just for this line, you wanted to change something, so maybe you want to change the font color, but let's do that for all of these paragraphs. Oh no, we'll do that another time. We can do that. I'll just show you right now. If you have style, and you can change just for paragraphs, you can change the color to red. And there you can see that you can individually style any of these, so the headings will be a different color and your paragraphs, so that's very useful. Keep that in mind. You can individually style these, so it all depends on what you prefer using styling method. So in style.css we created this class and then we called it under body. So instead of using background color, maybe we can change the color of the font. So we can just say color. So just take that out, and remember we can call this class whatever we want, to just say font color maybe, because color means the color of the font. You may think it means the color of the component, but no, not in this case. So let's just make it green maybe. So green, okay, not dark green, nope, lime. Okay, let's use lime. So now this won't get implemented because we didn't call the class, so let's do that. Font color is what we called it. So we called the class, and here refresh and look, it does the same thing. So it's just different things that we can style, and we're going to look at all of that, so don't worry about it. We have a lot planned for the future, and we're going to discuss all of these in detail. And if you have like another font color, so maybe you can call it dot. So we're creating another class. If you're using dot, remember, dot paragraph color, curly brackets, and then you can change the color of all paragraphs to red as we had it. Save that, and again, to emphasize this, refresh, nothing happens. Remember, you have to call the class. So under maybe under every one of these, you can call that class, which is very useful for classes. You can call them anywhere for any components, so you don't have to style everything, but you can style what you want to be styled. Now you can notice just that component was styled, so we just changed the color of the font, which may not be too significant, but at the moment it will be to you because you haven't done anything like this. So if you get excited about this, yes, that's fine, but eventually we're going to get to much more than this, where we can control images and videos and borders, all of those things that you hear of. So don't stress, we're going to get to all of that soon. But this was a pivotal video showing you the different ways that you can style. And let me just get rid of that, it's annoying me. It should all be the same color, but you can just play around, make your own project and change all of this, make your own classes and call them wherever you want in all these components. So again, refresh it, it goes back to normal. So your practice for after this video is to make something similar, just some text or some paragraphs or whatever, add your text and then control each one of these, make classes for all the paragraphs and headers, and also learn how to change the background color. So again, let's just take this out, just a refreshment, as they say, to refresh your mind. We took out the link to the CSS file, and we're also going to remove the class. Okay, so I'm just going to go delete this file. Remember to make it a .css document. I'm just deleting it, and we go back and it shows that it's deleted. And close that, and let's just have it how it was. So style, leave it how it was with the background color as blue. Yes, and you can see the font changed back. I'm just trying to emphasize this a lot because this is essential. We're going to be using this a lot. And color, as we had it at the beginning, it was red. Okay, there it gets implemented, so it works. Test this out a couple times and you'll get used to it, and just try out all three different styles, well, methods of styling, sorry. And if you have any problems, just comment below. Please subscribe, like the video, and share the channel as it says here. But seriously, please, you can share the channel with your best mates or your family members or anyone. In the next video, we're going to discuss divs and spans, which is another HTML. It's another two HTML elements that we can use. Very, very important, so make sure you watch it. Don't miss it. Take care for now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.